Hello all. In this session, we are going to see about mobile automation testing using Appium. Okay. So instead of directly going into what is mobile automation testing and how we are going to perform, we'll see like what is mobile application and what is the difference between mobile application and desktop application. So if you take a decade earlier, we were having our applications entirely in the desktop and we need a desktop to access those applications. Either it may be a social media website or the banking sites, right? So now it is not that case. We have our mobile, we have a good network, and within a click, we can do whatever we want to do, right? Wherever we are. We need not sit in a place for doing all those things, right? So that is the difference between a desktop application and mobile application. So on the go, we can do whatever we want, even it is a bank transfer or accessing a social media or uploading a video into your YouTube or whatever sites you require. It is very simple now, right? So what will be the challenges moving from the desktop application to the mobile application? It's not like entirely we are moving from the desktop application. We do have desktop application for all mobile applications we have, right? So what will be the challenges to check? So mobile devices screen is very smaller comparatively, right? Even though we have a tab, the screen will be smaller than the desktop or laptop we have. And that has to be taken into a consideration when we are developing a mobile application or when we are testing the application as well. Because we do have a lot of mobile devices and with different screen sizes. So if you're doing automation, then we need to create a script that matches all the screen sizes. That will be a hectic one. And then mobile device memory. It is very smaller than the desktop application. So our application should not get hang while we are testing it in the mobile devices. And also we need to think about the network that we are getting connected. So it's like we have 2G, 3G, Wi-Fi, 4G now also we do have 5G, right? So we need to think about that as well because like the mobile devices getting connected with those networks. And also we need to think about how it will work when the network is not there. When we get a call, how it will work. So we need to think about all those scenarios and we need to start about the or mobile normal testing, right? And this same comes to automation testing as well. So we need to select devices based on all these consideration. So when we move to mobile application, we have three types of mobile application testing: native, web, and hybrid. We'll go into detail regarding all these three types. But now just have a picture like we have three types of application, native, hybrid, and web. So if we are going to test, if you're going to move forward and do a manual testing or an automation testing of mobile application, we need to think about three strategy. So first one is how will we select a device? Because we have lot of variety devices available in the market. So we need to select the limited version, limited devices, right? Because we can't test it in all the devices that is available in the market. We need to pick like what are the top three or top five based on our customer budget as well. So selection of devices is important. Selection of OS is very important because we need to get the input from the client, which OS they are going to support. Okay. So that is also a very important thing over here. So after that, we need to think about OS version. Even if OS is like handful, we have lot of versions available and still some people are working in the older version of OS instead of upgrading it, right? So we need to think about that as well. Next one is selection of network. So we need to think like how are we going to test it in 2G, 3G because now we have 4G, 5G and Wi-Fi, right? So we need to think about that as well. We need to think and select the network based on how the real population in the world is using our network, right? So only then we can implement that in the mobile application testing and we can test it. So if we are going to automation, then everyone will tell only Appium, right? So why Appium? So Appium is an open source project, as we all know, okay? And it supports both Android and iOS applications. So if we have to test it in Android or if we have to test the application in the iOS, Appium will support us. And if we need to test the web inside our mobile application, mobile devices, then we have Appium will support for Chrome, Firefox, and Safari as well. And also, Appium has a strong and active community where we have any doubt, any question, we can get answer from them. If there is a latest feature, we will get the update from them. Okay. So support is anonymous. You can like on the go, we can get the support and we can solve a problem. And as I said, it supports multiple platforms. So we can run like whatever platform we require, we can run our test cases. Okay. So parallel execution is also available in the Appium. Similar to that of a Selenium, we have a parallel execution over here and we can make use of it. Okay. Appium supports various languages like C Sharp, Python, Java, Ruby, PHP, JavaScript with Node.js. Okay. So that is how we need to think about it, because Appium is built on Node.js. Okay. So all these languages are supported. So if you know any one of this language, then we are good to go with Appium. So let us see how the Appium works. Okay. We need to know, right? Like how we need to trigger it to the mobile devices, how we are going to interact with the mobile devices. We need to know, right? So this is how it works. It is a client server mission. Okay. So what we know about client server, client send the request, server send the response to the specific request. Okay. Then how we are going to hit the mobile device. See, now we need to know what is client, what is server over here, right? So client is a client library that is available. Okay. And Appium, whatever we are going to download, it is a Appium server actually. Okay. So we need to send the request from the client library to Appium server. And this Appium server in turn hits the Android or iOS devices that we have for the test. How this is going to work? So we need to know how our client library works, right? So client libraries is nothing but the library that is supported from the API for different programming language that we need to incorporate into our framework. Okay. So similar to that of Selenium, that is we are going to incorporate with our framework, right? TestNG or BDD. So we are going to get the client library from the internet, and then we are going to incorporate that with our framework. So from this client, we are going to send the response. I mean, we are going to get the response by sending the request, right? So client will send the request, and that is going to be in the format of HTTP RESTful request. Okay. So this how we are going to convert our request to HTTP RESTful request. It is using JSON via protocol, because the server will not understand the simple English that we are going to send, right? So we need to send the request in the HTTP RESTful request. Only then the Appium server will understand, and this part is taken care by the JSON via protocol. Okay. So this is how it reaches the server, and the server has to identify the devices, the real devices or the emulators or the simulators that we have, right? So in that case, we have OS native driver. Okay, so the devices has its own native driver, and the server Appium server will reach the device using this driver. And this driver is not part of Appium. It is a part of OS or the mobile devices. Okay, so for Android, we have UI Automator, and for iOS, we have UI Automation or XC UI Test. Okay, so in this case, this is how the server reaches the specific devices. Okay, but how the server knows whether we are going to Android or iOS? So that where we have to come back to our request, that is where we are giving desired capabilities. Okay, so what is desired capabilities? Desired capabilities is nothing but is a key value pair that we are going to send with the details like what is the device, what is the UI ID of the device, because we will connect lot of devices, right? We need to select one of the device for our testing. So we need to send the request with detail of the devices like OS version and what is the ID of the device. So we say it as a UID. Okay. So this is how it works. So client send the request with desired capabilities. So by JSON via protocol, the request we send is converted to HTTP RESTful request, and it is sent to server, Appium server. Okay. So Appium server in turn will get the detail from the request, and it will hit the mobile devices. It will perform the actions that is intended to do, and then it will send the response to the client. Okay. Hope this helps. This is a basic architecture of the APM. We'll see the detailed one actually. Thank you.